What's up, everybody? It was a pretty eventful day in the market on Friday. The Supreme Court ruled that most of Trump's tariffs were unconstitutional. The market had a bit of a bump. Then Trump came out and said he's imposing a new 10% global tariff under a different law. And then he raised that tariff the next day to 15%. So we'll talk briefly about that, whether that has any effect on the companies we're looking at. And also in this video, I want to talk about a pretty big change I made to my portfolio a couple weeks ago. I sold a stock that I've held for about a decade. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what I did with my money. And if you get value out of this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join my Discord, support what I do, or grab my Google Sheets template for analyzing stocks, then consider joining my Patreon. Link to that will be down below. Now, let's get into this video. And to start with, let's talk briefly about tariffs. I'm sure everyone who's following the market remembers April of last year, quote unquote, Liberation Day. Trump announced tariffs that were based on trade deficits with other countries, and the stock market really didn't like it, obviously, sold off dramatically. A lot of the companies that were most hit were, for example, consumer brands that were manufacturing their goods in China and Southeast Asia. Nike, for example, sold off roughly 20%. Most of the retailers dropped quite a bit on this news. Target, a company I don't own, but one that I've been following, they were down about 16% on that week. Kohl's just fell off an absolute cliff. They were already struggling up to that point, but they were down more like 30%. I've talked about Kohl's a lot on this channel. I was buying during this time. This company has problems. Top line is contracting. It's not a high quality business, but it simply got too cheap. Abercrombie & Fitch, another company, they sold off about 20-ish% that week. And on Friday, you can get a bit of what the market sentiment was like with this new tariff news by just looking at the price action of these stocks. Many of them initially jumped up quite a bit. Nike was up 3 to 4% and then sold off 6%. So they were down roughly 3% on the day and finished back close to even. You see a similar story with other companies. Target up a lot, then they were down, then they finished positive. Kohl's, again, up about 4%. They had about a 10% move downward in the middle of the day. It bounced back, but still finished negative. I know some investors expected these stocks to be up quite strongly on this news, but I think there's two reasons why there wasn't as big of a reaction as people thought. First of all, I think a lot of this was probably priced in. I'm not a political expert. I don't think I have any insight at all into how the Supreme Court is going to rule on something. So I figured there was about a 25 to 30-ish% chance that the Supreme Court would rule in Trump's favor here, because that's what the prediction markets, the betting markets, were telling us. If you don't think you have special knowledge somewhere, then just using the prediction market odds for the chance of an event happening is pretty reasonable in my opinion. So that's the first thing. Overall, the Supreme Court ruling is not a huge surprise. And second of all, Trump clearly likes tariffs. If he can't use IEEPA, the law that he used to put these tariffs on, he's going to try to find another way. The 10% global tariff, which he then increased to 15%, is temporary. It lasts for 150 days without congressional approval. Whether he can then renew this or use some other law or statute to continue tariffs will probably remain to be seen. I'm sure this isn't the end of tariff news, and of course, I don't know how this is going to play out, but if I had to make a guess, 3-4 years from now, do I think that there are going to be 15% global tariffs on pretty much all imports into the US? I don't. I think that's pretty unlikely. Of course, I could be wrong, and I imagine there's going to be a lot of uncertainty here for the next few years. But I'm going to continue to look at these companies on an individual basis, and I'm not avoiding retailers or consumer brands right now just because of tariff fears. Now, with that out of the way, I think it's time we talk about the change that I made to my portfolio recently. And I'm sure this won't be a decision that many other investors agree with, but I sold out of Google. This is a stock that I've held for roughly a decade. It's been about a 10-bagger for me over that time. I've added to this stock and trimmed it multiple times over the years. So this position has not been a consistent size, but I've always held Google stock in my portfolio to some amount. At one point in time, it was close to my largest position. Clearly, I like the company. I think Google is a very high quality business. They're dominant in multiple areas, yet over the past decade, there have been periods where people have hated on Google stock, where it's been extremely out of favor. And there have also been times when people have been relatively positive on Google stock. I think right now, the general sentiment towards Google is about as optimistic as it has been. Their enterprise value is trading for roughly 30 times their operating income. That's not ridiculous, but definitely on the high side for this company. In fact, about as high as it has ever been. And meanwhile, their free cash flow yield is as low as it has ever been, close to 1%. And in spite of the fact that many investors are extremely excited about AI, about the future, about all the CapEx that Google is doing to build out their data centers, to build out cloud, I think there is more uncertainty and risk around Google today than at most points that I've seen in the past decade. Sentiment is extremely positive right now. It's hard to find anyone saying something bad about Google. Ironically, when few people were saying things bad about Google in 2022, I was buying. Now, diving into their numbers, diving into the recent earnings report, there's a lot of good news. Again, I still like this company. Google's going to be around for a while. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Top line revenue growing 15% year over year. Margins have been pretty consistent over that time, so operating income also growing 15% year over year. The bottom line, earnings per share, looks like it's growing amazingly well, 34%. But realize that a lot of that is this other income, which is just gains on their investments. This will fluctuate up and down. I recommend that investors focus on operating income or maybe cash flow, free cash flow, something like that. Much of what they have in this report is about what I would expect, kind of business as usual. Search did very well, growing 17% year over year. Google Search is still roughly half of this business. Cloud gets a lot of discussion, even small things like Waymo, which are almost inconsequential to Google as a whole. They probably get more of the headlines, but really search is still the core of this business. The one thing that probably stands out and is going to grab people's attention is capital expenditures. This has been going up and up and up, and a lot of this is going towards AI data centers. And in fact, Google said next year, CapEx is going to be roughly double what it was this year. Free cash flow for Google in that case is probably going to be negative. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Google is doing this because they think the return on their investment is going to be so high, it's worth the money. But it does change a bit of the thesis in Google, at least for me. Google has always been a cash cow. Their CapEx hasn't been incredibly high relative to other businesses. They simply print billions and billions of dollars every single quarter and no one can touch them, so they don't have to have that much reinvestment. Now that's changed a bit, and again, while that's not necessarily bad, it does mean that we need to reflect on the thesis. How high is the CapEx going to be in the following year and the year after that? If they're buying up a ton of NVIDIA chips, what does the useful life of those chips look like? Does this significantly increase their maintenance CapEx going forward? These are the things I want to think about. And I'm sure you've heard investors talk about an AI bubble. There are people that compare now to 1999 or 2000 when we had the dot-com bubble. Back then, there were companies with very high valuations and not much to show as far as earnings. And nowadays, people say that's different. The earnings on these companies look great. All the companies that are supplying these chips that are fueling AI, of course, their earnings look incredible. And in fact, NVIDIA, which hasn't reported yet, I imagine they're going to have great results and probably have excellent guidance considering all the CapEx that is being announced from companies like Google. But it's not just the NVIDIAs of the world that report great earnings, all of the hyperscalers, the companies like Google that we're looking at now. The companies that are buying these chips, their earnings look great too. So people say it's different. This is not like 2000. And I'm not saying we're in a bubble. I've made actually a video talking about that exact question before. I am very invested, although in very different companies than the S&P 500. I just want to push back a little bit on people that say it's completely different this time around. It's true that, for example, NVIDIA and their main customers, all the hyperscalers, have excellent earnings, but who is the end user of all this compute power? Most of these small AI companies, these AI startups that train models and use Google Cloud, the companies that have been fueling growth here and the need for CapEx, most of these businesses are not yet profitable. For example, Anthropic, which has a large compute deal with Google Cloud, not profitable. Now, right now, there's tons of these businesses and they're spending money and Google is the beneficiary. Google doesn't care in the short term whether these companies turn a profit. But in the medium term, you need to have real results to the bottom lines of all these other businesses in order to justify continued AI spend. If that happens, if all these AI companies start to turn a profit, then yeah, the show is going to keep going on. Google Cloud is going to keep growing and growing. But I think this increases the risk to Google today. Google's future success is not just about search. I now also have to consider a world where the party stops, these AI companies, most of them don't become profitable, their spending goes down, and the return on investment for all the CapEx that Alphabet is doing here won't be quite as high as they think. Now, getting into my sheet, I have some assumptions about the future. We can see what they imply about a return on Google stock today. My base case, I think that this is actually pretty optimistic. I'm assuming 15% growth on the top line every year for 5 years. That's what the company is doing right now. As they grow, as they continue to get bigger, maintaining 15% growth gets a bit harder, but we're going to keep that where it is. Operating margin, I have that holding steady, 32%, extremely strong margins for Google. Free cash flow, it's going to be lower in the next few years, possibly even negative for the next year, but I'll just leave this as it is right now. And if I give them a 24 times multiple, which is a rich valuation, but I think deserved considering the strength of the business, I'm looking at an 11% annualized return on Google stock today. That would certainly be a decent return. I'd be happy with that. But first of all, it's nothing crazy. And second of all, I think it's a bit on the optimistic side. My bear case, I pulled back that top line growth to 10%. This is what they had in 22 and 23. It still assumes that Google's top line revenue is going to grow to about $650 billion 5 years from now. I kept margins pretty close to where they are now, and I still give them a 20 times multiple in this bear case. With these assumptions, which I think are still pretty reasonable, you're basically flat on Google stock over 5 years, 2% annualized. The stock in 2022 traded down to more like a 15 times multiple. If that's the case again, you're down on your money over 5 years of holding Google. And as far as the upside, the bull case, I gave about what I think are the most realistic, optimistic assumptions. Growth accelerates even more, 17% on the top line. Operating margins expand to 35% operating margins, and I give them a 30 times multiple. And in this case, yeah, you're looking at 21% annualized return on the stock. That would, of course, be incredible. But overall, when I look at the risk reward of Google today, I think it's decent. I don't think it's incredible. And in fact, I think risk reward on Google stock today is worse than it's been over the past 10 years. I still like the company, and don't be surprised if I own Google stock again in the near future. But I would like its current multiple, its current 30 times multiple, to come back to the low 20s. I would like there to be some fear around this stock again and to be able to buy back at a great price. Now, as far as what I'm doing with this money, and this is part of the reason why I sold, I finished exiting this position on February 9th, as I wrote on Discord at the time. Google stock closed that day at $324, so similar price to now, down 3% to today. But I used this money to buy Molina Healthcare. I've talked about this stock before on the channel. We made a video recently after their Q4 results. The stock fell roughly 30% after this quarter. And as I said in my Molina video, I'm a buyer here. Under $130 a share, I was buying very aggressively. This is now one of my largest holdings, and it's one that I think the market is just overlooking, even though it's bounced roughly 20% off the bottom here. But still, I think the market is massively undervaluing this company. This isn't a video about Molina per se, but I'll give you the quick thesis here. Molina, they're a health insurance company mainly involved in Medicaid. As health costs have risen, that's really squeezed their margins. The stock is sold off massively. But they are the most efficient operator in Medicaid, the lowest cost operator of any of these insurance companies. Their overhead is only about 6 to 7% of their premium revenue in Medicaid. That is better than any of the others. Medicaid rates over time will have to normalize so that the average Medicaid company is at least breaking even. If that happens, Molina, being a better operator, I think they're going to roughly have 3% pre-tax margins in a break-even world. That already today, not counting for any market share gain, even though Molina has been taking market share, or not accounting for any buybacks over the next few years, even though Molina is buying back stock at these levels, but not adding anything for that, getting back to break even implies about $20 in earnings per share for Molina. Just 10 days ago, Molina was trading for 6 times that. If you add in a little bit of market share growth, some buybacks, it's very easy to see how Molina can get to $30 in earnings per share several years out from now. Some might say that I'm cutting the flowers to water the weeds here, but I do not think that Molina stock is going to be a weed. I think this is going to be a winner. It's a large position for me. I expect it will be very volatile. There's more headlines talking about further cuts to Medicaid. This stock could easily go back to 120, even lower, $100 a share, who knows? But I think risk reward is great. This isn't advice to buy or sell Google or Molina or any other company. Just give you my opinion and I tell you what I'm doing with my money. And with that, I think we'll end it here. If you got value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to grab my Google Sheets template, join my Discord, or just support what I do, consider following me on Patreon. Link to that will be down below. And I hope to see you all in another video.